The Metaverse has been hyped as the next big thing in the world of tech. It's based on the concept that our future lives will be lived largely in the digital world, where we'll put on a headset and interact in all sorts of ways as avatars.
The Metaverse is the new wild, wild west for kids. Millions of kids across the country and around the world are using these headsets.
And the amount of time you spend in virtual reality in the Metaverse will slowly increase to the point where we really become an immersive world.
It was always clear that the dream was to feel present with the people we care about. Isn't that the ultimate promise of technology? To be together with anyone, to be able to teleport anywhere, and to create and experience anything?
We all know by now that the challenges we face with the metaverse are similar to the previous leaps like the internet, social platforms, or AI, but are expected to increase in intensity and effects due to its pervasive nature and impact on the perception and experience of reality.
Our worst fears are that we, the industry, the technology, cause significant harm to the world. I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong. And we want to be vocal about that. We want to work with the government to prevent that from happening. It's rare that a company like OpenAI is seeking collaboration with the government, because it's usually the other way around. This just shows the real concerns that OpenAI has for their own technology. And if a company like OpenAI is concerned, we, the public, or the Council of Europe, need to be even more concerned about these new technologies.
And it is now time to focus on what needs to be done, not only by governments, but also by the metaverse's providers and civil society as a whole.
We are living in the age where these technologies act as an open beta, and we, the public, are playing the role of guinea pigs. Children need to be protected. Especially with these new technologies, we don't know how that will affect their mental health. Putting an age recommendation on the headset packaging itself would be a great way to have parents be aware that this is not a toy for young children, because young children's minds are malleable and we don't know what the effects of the metaverse will have on their mental health.
As the VR Bible is still being written, I think there's a lot of trial and error that needs to happen in order to take note of these mistakes and bring on improvements down the line. There's a lot of risks and concerns for a lot of aspects within this new technological platform, especially with how virtual reality will affect the minds of its users in the long term, because we still haven't had the chance to experiment. Oculus came out in, I believe, 2016, and the user base was so minimal back then, and now Meta's big quest of 1 billion VR users is still a long way away, but I think with the fact of their production line, creating relatively cheap headsets is the right path to bring new users on board.
For the time being, we see it coming. We know that it will create big ripple effects in our society, because it will affect the flow of communication, information, and perhaps resources in our society. But what will happen in the end, we don't know. It will be a trial and error process, and probably it will take some decades to see what will happen. The technology will be able to do crazy things, but we want to make sure that while we will benefit from this technology, we will keep human rights, society stable, democracy vivid, and we will have the rule of law.